With how men claim women's spaces such as gyms, bars, ride-sharing services, etc. always fail, they overlook new businesses facing high startup mortality rates regardless of their target demographic. Men often emphasize common tropes rooted more in ideological bias than in economic reality because that alone does not prove they fail. One strong rebuttal is that women have the power of high market demand. For example, millions of women actively seeking out environments where they can socialize, work out, or commute without experiencing harassment, unwanted advances, or safety concerns demonstrates a built-in, highly motivated consumer base that traditional co-ed businesses often fail to serve adequately. Therefore, women's-only spaces do very well. Another strong rebuttal is that women's-only gyms have proved longevity. For example, established women-only gym chains such as Curves International demonstrates at its peak operated thousands of franchises globally, and modern regional concepts like the Daily Method or specialized female-focused strength clubs have demonstrated long-term viability and profitability over decades. Therefore, women's-only spaces do very well. A third strong rebuttal is that women's-only ride-sharing has many success stories. For example, sectors like transportation services designed specifically for women by women such as Shaba in Australia or various regional female-only ride shares demonstrate successfully filled critical safety gaps, proving that women are willing to pay a premium or choose specific platforms for peace of mind during late-night or solo commutes. Therefore, women's-only spaces do very well. A fourth strong rebuttal is that these so-called business failures are market failures. For example, women-only spaces closing demonstrates standard business pitfalls like poor management, underfunding, high overhead, or economic downturns rather than target demographic pitfalls. Therefore, women's-only spaces do very well. A fifth strong rebuttal is that they set successful precedents in niche hospitality. For example, women-only social clubs, co-working spaces, and bars such as the Wing during its peak, and modern inclusive concepts like the Albright demonstrates that women value dedicated networking and social environments. Therefore, women's-only spaces do very well. A sixth strong rebuttal is that many successful businesses thrive by catering to specific niches. For example, men-only clubs, luxury demographics, and hobbyists demonstrate women-only businesses are simply applying a targeted marketing and operational strategy to the majority of the population. Women make up roughly 50% of society, which is hardly a recipe for inevitable failure. Therefore, women's-only spaces do very well. A seventh strong rebuttal is that safety and comfort are value propositions. For example, consumers paying extra for organic food, security systems, or premium seating demonstrates many women gladly support businesses that prioritize psychological and physical safety, translating directly into brand loyalty and repeat business. Therefore, women's-only spaces do very well. An eighth strong rebuttal is that many contemporary women-focused spaces have evolved beyond strict exclusivity to ensure financial stability. For example, offering women prioritized hours, female-led programming, or safe community spaces alongside flexible membership tiers demonstrates businesses adapt effectively to modern economic landscapes. Therefore, women's-only spaces do very well. A ninth strong rebuttal is that global female-only spaces, ranging from traditional bathhouses and community centers to modern transport networks. For example, the model demonstrates cultural validation and economic sustainability on a global scale. Therefore, women's-only spaces do very well. And a 10th strong rebuttal is that women control or influence the vast majority of consumer spending and make up a massive percentage of the global workforce. For example, businesses directly addressing their unique pain points demonstrates access to a powerhouse demographic with substantial disposable income. Therefore, women's-only spaces do very well. Ultimately, the narrative that women-only bars, gyms, and ride-sharing services always fail cannot be accurately understood through robust ecosystems of thriving businesses, persistent consumer demand, and the basic economic realities of entrepreneurship. While far from being doomed ventures, these spaces addressing genuine market needs for safety and community suggest that specialized, audience-focused business models can achieve lasting success.